And for more on this, I want to bring in Democratic Congressman from Illinois, Brad Schneider. He joins me now for more analysis. And Congressman, I want to start by asking you, we're hearing conflicting reports between DHS and Minneapolis officials about that fatal ICE-involved shooting. DHS says it was justified and accused that woman of domestic terrorism. City officials say that account is just plain false. Listen, I understand that investigation is ongoing, but your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts are what a horrible tragedy. This is a young mother, a 6-year-old daughter, who was needlessly shot. Anyone can watch the video and see that the officer who shot her shot 3 times at the car as it was even leaving from where he was. There needs to be a full investigation, and the officers involved need to be held to account. But it doesn't change the fact that what the president and the administration is doing, surging ICE officers into communities in Minnesota, we've seen it in Chicago, across the country, to terrorize communities. It's not about making our communities any safer. They're not going after hardened criminals. They're going after hardworking people who are our neighbors, are part of our communities, and terrorizing the community to really, I believe, create an environment of submission and fear.
I asked this question to one of your colleagues earlier today. I'm curious, we're hearing from Governor Walz, who's saying that state officials are being frozen out of investigating this as the FBI conducts its internal investigation here. How would you, first, your reaction to that, and also, how would you feel if something like that played out in Illinois?
I'd be livid. The investigation needs to be complete. It needs to be transparent. The state of Minnesota should have a right to conduct their own investigation in the same way that if it happened in Illinois, I would expect Governor Pritzker to be able to order an investigation for our state. We have seen from this administration a pattern of lying, a pattern of covering up, a pattern of trying to tell you, don't believe your eyes, but believe what they are telling you. Anyone watching what happened in that video understands that there needs to be a full and formal investigation, that this woman, Renee Good, should be at home with her 6-year-old daughter, and that the people of Minneapolis deserve to be able to live in their communities without the fear of ICE knocking on their door or shooting someone on their streets.
Oh, Congressman, listen, we know that Chicago has also been a target of ICE operations, and your governor and the mayor of Chicago have also been targets of President Trump's ire. Is there concern that something like this could potentially happen in your backyard?
We had something like this happen in Chicago. An individual was shot and killed in a similar circumstance. And I know that in my communities, the operations, what they called Operation Blitz, was an example of federal officers under the orders from Secretary Noem, from President Trump, terrorizing our communities, causing fear. I think only a small fraction of the people they apprehended had criminal records. An even smaller fraction had violent crimes. We all want violent criminals off our streets. And as I said in the fall, as Governor Pritzker said, and I think anyone across the country would agree, we're willing to work with the administration to make sure our streets are safe, our communities are secure, that children can feel comfortable and confident walking to school, sitting in their classrooms. People are comfortable on their way to work. That's not what this administration is doing. In fact, it's doing the exact opposite, sowing fear and making life harder for everyday Americans.
And when we talk to Minneapolis officials, it's unfortunate, but this isn't their first rodeo in dealing with civil unrest here in the last the better part of a decade. But I'm curious, in your estimation, what is the key to maintaining civil discourse in situations like this?
Well, I think being willing to have conversations, which this administration is not. It's their way or the highway in almost every circumstance. But I think what you saw in Chicago, I was very proud of the way our community in Chicago and the suburbs responded to what was Operation Blitz. People came out. They kept a vigil, or they were very vigilant in taking a video of what ICE officers were doing, standing together with their neighbors, keeping their community safe, and ultimately ICE left Chicago. That doesn't mean they're not coming back. They probably are. But I think as long as communities stand strong, stand united, and remain peaceful in their civil discourse, we can't let what this administration is doing, we can't let the tone and tenor of President Trump, of his spokespeople, of Secretary Noem, et cetera, be how we respond. We have to keep our cool, and we have to remember that we are fighting for the very ideals that define who we are as a nation.
Congressman Schneider, I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.